Welcome back to Shark Tank. I'm here with Mr. Wonderful and Mark Cuban somewhere around here. And what do we do on this show?
A lot of stuff. Very nice, very evil stuff.
All right, well, buy a company and then I'll make $1 million, I
think. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Smart Tank Revolution, where we always kick out at 2. I am your solo host today, back from sabbatical, back to touch the earth and all its amazing planes. Mr. Joey, I feel good. It feels like a night for business. And I'm here with my NXT Nightcap. And I just wanted to go over this because I literally just watched this about 15 minutes ago, no less. And NXT is one of those things. I don't know if it's just pumped up more since it's moved to CW, but it is really hitting its stride. I mean, I wouldn't quite call it the black and gold top tier stride, but definitely better than in the NXT 2.0 era. And it's just, I mean, man, we are just getting and being treated to some amazing wrestling content on a weekly basis by the good folks at TKO, the WWE, that whole conglomerate. It is just a wonderful sight to be seen. But before we get into this, there was a little event last week that took place on a Friday night, and it was all around the world through Netflix, called Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. And my cohort, Mr. Donnie Wonderful, big time Donnie, you guys all know him. He is the anchor of this channel. Thank you, Donnie. 1,000 thanks. Did a lovely recap of it from a insider's boxer's perspective that I respect highly, because I'm coming at it as a viewer perspective and just a general fan, just a casual fan. I thought it was a big pile of horse shit, but Donnie kind of opened my eyes, and I do appreciate it. I, of course, rebutted him, and I just want to let him know that, you know, it is appreciated. Even when the best are wrong, they still come out pretty good. But enough of that. Let's get on. This is the road to deadline. This is NXT. This is the CW, baby. This is the big time. And I got to say, NXT is just bringing it, man. I will stand by and unequivocally go on record here and the now and say that they have beyond the best women's wrestling roster, period. Change my mind. They are stacked like a bunch of flip cups. They are just unfreaking real. I love it, man. Love it, love it, love it. But yeah, so we're on the road to deadline, which means that men and women's Iron Survivor challenges, people qualifying, and, you know, friendships are going to be made, relationships are going to be broken, and legends are going to be born. And that is really, really cool. So the first thing we got opening up is it was Eddie Thorpe versus Nathan Frazier of the Tag Team Champions. And, you know, like I said, the NXT roster is so stacked. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. It's very hard to downplay any single talent because they all have merit, but they all have power. They all have drawing power in my eyes. They all have star power. They're just very captivating. The way, whatever Shawn Michaels and company is doing to present these folks, they do a stellar job. They really do. I'm not a big Eddie Thorpe fan. I'll go on and say that. I don't get the hullabaloo. I don't, you know, he's a good worker. I don't mind that. I'm not mad at it. But, you know, Nathan Frazier just kind of appeals to me a little bit more, and not by much either. Not a big fan of Nathan Frazier and Axiom as tag champs. I really hate it, to be honest. I think it reeks of like, like thrown together tag teams, like, you know, Bryan and Kane, X-Pac and Kane, those kind of things. But those were entertaining, but they were short spell tag champions. They were good for, you know, a quick cup of coffee and then pass it on to the next person who's, you know, the hot potato. These guys have been tag team champs for too long. And I know Donnie's probably shaking his head somewhere, rolling his eyes, going, oh, geez, Joe complaining about another long title reign after 15 minutes. What a shock. Well, guess what? I am. And this time I think I'm actually warranted on it. But anyways, good match. You know, NXT doesn't put on bad matches. I got to tell you that, folks. They don't. But there was obviously a little bit of chaos. You had Gallus. You had other tag team champs them tag teams come in and kind of throw things into a ruckus. So Nathan Frazier gets the Duke. Boom. He's going on to Deadline. Nothing to write home about. Phoenix Splash. Pow. Done. Okay. I'm fine with that. But then we get the meat and potatoes. We get what the night is about. We get, the feels. And tonight is all about Chase U. It's about the survival of Chase U. Can Chase U overcome Ridge Holland, who's being booked as quite a destroyer and just wants to bring down the house that everyone loves so much? Everyone covets Chase U. And why not? They're the plucky underdog faces. They are a living, walking, breathing John Hughes movie come to life, and it is so spectacular to see, and it's done with so much emotion and so much feeling, and it's just, man, love it. But yeah, we get a vignette of Chase U's rise from unlikely to most popular, and it's just it's such a cool thing to see when it's done so organically and it's not shoved down your throats like a certain Big Dog was once upon a time. It's great. It tastes good. You're like, can you get more? Can I have a little bit more? And I will totally deal with that. So I'm all good. Also, big Thea Hale fan. Love me some Thea. Thea, I cannot wait to see her break out and become a megastar, because Thea is just so entertaining to watch, and she's so damn talented to boot. But then you got the men's side, you got the women's side, the flip side, of course, for the women's Iron Survivor qualifier, and you got Jada Parker versus Stephanie Vaquer. Like both these ladies, Jada Parker has been on my radar recently after the ECW tribute show. Jada Parker kicked some freaking ass against Lola Vice, and it was awesome. I wasn't a big fan of her before then, but she really earned her stripes with me. And I can be a tough cookie to crack sometimes. Well, that's a tough nut, but I can be a tough cookie to swallow, crumble, something along those lines. But anyways, yeah, good stuff. Stephanie Vaquer, she's, kind of like a mercenary, looks like a killer. She's, she's from out of the States. She's got international fame and supremacy. So she lends some legitimacy to the NXT roster, but you don't need legitimacy when you got stars like Thea Hale. Come on now. You got Fallon Henley. My God, come on. You got some good stuff. But yeah, so, decent match. I wasn't so overhyped, but Stephanie Vaquer got the win. Not mad at it. Jada's on a roll. I think it kind of derails her slightly just because she... she got that big win in the no holds barred, the no disqualification, that crazy street fight challenge that she had for in the ECW show. But I think she can get her steam back, because the NXT booking crew, listen, they're damn good. They're really good at doing what they do, and these guys don't lose heat for long. It might be for a cup of coffee, but then the match, they get it right back. But here we go. This is something that totally tweaks me. This is something that makes me super excited. And I am a big, big fan. Let me tell you, the Don of NXT, Tony freaking D'Angelo, this guy is choice. This guy is the guy. I love him. He has come so far. Him and the family, they brought in Nunzio. They did their thing. It's like watching a Sopranos character in a wrestling ring. Chef's kiss. So good. And Tony, my God, he's been beefing up his physique. He's been getting better in the ring. He took down Omos. Not Omos. Wow. Whew. Oba Femi. I'm sorry. That was a very big slip of the tongue. On the same level. But, Oba freaking Femi. Took down Oba Femi twice. And it's amazing, because Tony D'Angelo is one of those talents that I can see reigning on the main roster very, very well. I could see him getting, his hooks into things, getting his mitts dirty and doing, the Lord's work and just kind of like, forget about it. Just knocking these guys out. I'm not the craziest on Stax and Rizzo and all that. I mean, Rizzo, I wouldn't uninvite her to a steak dinner, but that's really not saying much. You know what I mean? But Tony D'Angelo, I mean, I love the way his style is. It's very smash mouth. It's very just brutal. When he throws a spine buster, it is vicious, man. It reminds me of when Farouk used to do his spine buster when he was in the APA, where it was just like, you don't go even down to your knees. It's just a fucking, you push the guys up by the chest and thump them down. It's just whack. Beautiful shit, man. Brooks Jensen. Looks like he came from a MAGA rally. I can't be mad at it. You know what I mean? It's not really broadcasted on this, and I don't like to really hang my political hat anywhere, let alone a red one. But I'm from that side of the aisle. No. Before you come with pitches, torches and pitchforks. Hold on a sec. Hear me out. There's good to bad in every pocket and every type of, every type of sphere. And I am not one of those crazy MAGA people. I do not believe a president should even have merch. I would love the fact if our president-elect, Mr. Donald Trump, or, President-elect Trump, gets rid of the MAGA merch, because I feel it's low class compared to the presidency. You don't need merch. You know what I mean? But I digress. Brooks Jensen, he's doing the bidding of Sean Spears, Mr. Perfect 10. I wish he would go back to Ty Dillinger. I really do. I didn't like him as the chairman in AEW. I don't like him as this guy. I don't buy him as this mercenary. I don't buy him as this menacing threat. He doesn't come off that way. He's just, Ty Dillinger was much more what I figure him as, and maybe I'm just old-fashioned. I don't know. I like what I like. But this was a good little back and forth. Tony gets the Duke. Bang, spine buster, power, poof, forget about it. 1, 2, 3, get the meatballs, get the sauce, get the celebration, because it's over. It's over. Call up the New York Football Giants. It's over. Anyone gets that reference, it's hilarious. But that was something this week. Anyways, so Tony wins, and then of course, Sean Spears comes in and does his whole great job. Yeah, let me be happy for you. Let me shake your hand. And Tony, being a man of the people and a man of honor, with integrity, takes that hand and bang, right behind Brooks Jensen, knee clips him, just chop blocks, bang, right down. And what a dastardly deed. But hey, Tony wished he would have thought of it first, So I can't be mad at it. It was good. Tony, of course, now pissed off. He wants Sean. Sean wants Tony. He wants the North American Championship. Listen, Ty Dillinger, Sean Spears, I think he's an incredible talent. I think they need to find the gimmick and the voice that works for him, because this ain't it, fella. This ain't it. I don't like it. And I do not want to see the Don lose to, such a jamoke. I don't want to see that. Nah. No. I got no time for that. But anyways, so now we move on, right? We move on to Carmen Petrovic and Ashanti the Adonis. And this is a cute little thing. They're, planning backstage to go against, their opponents. And I honestly forgot who their opponents were. It really didn't bother. Oh, it's Dion Lennox and Brindley Reese. Got to say this. Big fan of Brindley Reese. Love her, hyped up, super caffeinated, credible energy that she brings, and just wildly outrageous. And she's so crisp in the ring. She reminds me of Thea Hale, but Thea on a manic level. Just very, very fun to watch. Dion, whatever the name is, I apologize. Dion. Dion Lennox, nothing. Does nothing for me. Very generic. So, Carmen Petrovic, I think she's great. She's got martial arts background. She kicks ass. She comes out with a sword. She's like a freaking samurai. She's got those legs. I mean, she's not not bad to look at, but she's really good in the ring. I mean, let's just face it. All the NXT women are pretty easy on the eyes for the most part. And I really appreciate that. And I love it. I absolutely love it. Not because they're pretty easy on the eyes. I just love the fact that they're just so good at what they do. They suck you in. Like, the NXT women's roster is the best women's roster on the planet right now. I maintain that. Yes, that is even over a roster that has Rhea Bloody Ripley, Bianca Belair. Yes, I know Donnie Wonderful's future ex-wife. I forgot her name. I forgot her name. Jade Cargill. There we go. Oh my God. I'm sorry, Donnie. I guess I won't be invited to the reception, and I won't make the first toast. But my God, yeah, they've got an incredible roster. Incredible. Good back and forth match. There's a distraction caused, and Cameron Petrovic gets the kick on Brindley Reese. Great end. Makes sense. Brindley, what a talent. How fluid. Really just little powerhouse. Just adorable, but just menacing at the same time. Great stuff. So now you get the awkward teaming of, the sexual chemistry in the ring and out the ring of, Ashanti the Adonis and Carmen Petrovic. And they make a cute little on-screen couple. I think it's kind of cool. And I'm not mad at it. Not mad at it at all. And it just, it'd be nice to see, what happens. But, of course, this is WWE. There's always going to be a monkey wrench in anyone's relationship. Don't date in the WWE on TV, guys. It ain't never going to go well. It is always a rocky road. Except for Dom and Liv. They seem to have that shit on lock, and it is smooth sailing. So, but hey, Dom is that guy. Dom is him. So I guess that's what's going on. But yeah, so that we're off on that. And then now we get Ridge Holland talking to Sarah Schreiber backstage, their interviewer, and he takes us down the feel-good romp of, Chase U and Memory Lane, and he says, tonight his goal is to end that, all of it, just succinctly, it's over. And boom. That's it. And if that happens, what an end to that night, to that era it's going to be. And I, for one, am not ready. I have really fallen into the love story with Chase U and how they went from underdogs to just undeniable favorites. It's just wonderful and great. And, like I said, I hope that isn't how it goes. I don't want to see that. But, compelling television doesn't always end with a happy ending. So, got to kind of see where it goes. But you have Ava. Ava's the busiest general manager this side of Adam Pearce. Let me tell you, people are always knocking on her door complaining. And I got to say, as somebody who bagged on Ava at first, saying it was nepotism, saying, if you weren't The Rock's daughter, you weren't going to get this, Ava's held her own. She is a really good general manager. She brings a lot of character to it. I enjoy her quite a bit. Is she William Regal? No, I mean, I love Sir William as general manager. I think that's just what's meant for him. But it's okay. Ava ain't no slouch, and I ain't mad at it. So that's about it. But then we get another Iron Survivor qualifier for the women. Again, to see how stacked this roster is, we get from the No Quarter Catch crew, Ren Seclair. And then we get Zarya, who Zarya I know is somebody internationally who's quite a big deal, but I'm not familiar with them. I'm not familiar with Zarya at all. I don't mean them. I'm not familiar with Zarya at all. And correct me if I'm wrong. Somebody in the comments, please tell me who Zarya is. I would love to know who Zarya is. she has this mystique about her where she reminds me kind of like Beth Phoenix. Like a new school Beth Phoenix. But I mean, I think Beth was better, but she's got that mystique about her. So I'm really interested to see where she goes. But she goes against Ren Sinclair. And I've liked Ren. Ren is, like kind of a plucky underdog, but she's very talented like all the other women in NXT. And just very, very cool. Ren, this was my match of the night. I'll be honest with you. This is my favorite match of the night. I thought it was back and forth. I thought it was fluid. I thought the reversals were superb. I think Zaria's got great powerhouse moveset, and Ren has a lot of potential, and the whole damn crowd was chanting Ren. Like, come on, man. You can't be mad at that. It was just good. Good stuff. Good stuff. But unfortunately, it ends with, Zaria getting the win over Ren, dashing Ren's hopes, and moving on to the Iron Women's Survivor. Tony D'Angelo comes in next, starts yelling at Ava. He wants Shawn Spears. He freaking wants him. And like I said, Ava's got a busy night. And as long as he can get medically cleared, he gets Shawn Spears. And what I really thought was freaking cool was Tony D'Angelo grabs the doctor and he's like, come here, doc. Let's go. We're going to talk. Like, I love it because it's so in character wheelhouse and kayfabe for him to grab the doctor and kind of maybe bribe him or, maybe dangle him over a building or something until the doctor says you're cleared. I think that's cool. I love it. Good characterization. Really, really hanging on to the gimmick, doing what they got to do. And, so then you get Carmen Petrovich and you get Ashanti the Adonis. They're backstage. They're celebrating their win. And, of course, this is NXT and it's WWE. And what did I say to you before, precursor-wise? That, relationships never end well. They don't even start well most of the times. And all of a sudden, they're talking, and it's this will they, won't they? We've been treated for this since Joey and Dawson. And all of a sudden, bang, out comes Nikita Lyons, and they're about to make their kiss, and it's a sweet moment, and then here comes Nikita Lyons, and she goes, Ashanti, waiting on that text, and of course Carmen Petrovich falls for it and says, oh yeah, of course, I see, and just walks off, and Ashanti's sitting there, well, with no one to hang his hat on tonight, if you know what I mean, except himself, and so it's a sad moment, but it's just kind of a play type of thing, and it's all good. This is going to go somewhere in storyline, and I like it because it gives all parties involved something to do. And then we have Nathan Frazier and Axiom talking to each other backstage and all this, and he says, it's a real good thing that you don't know that I am going against Ethan Page next week, because we get this vignette of All Ego talking about how he's gonna win the qualifier, go to Iron Survivor, win the challenge, and get his title back against Trick Williams. And I gotta tell you, I love Trick Willie. Love me some Trick Willie. But God, get us back some All Ego. All Ego reigning is great stuff. Love it, love it, love it. Can't be mad at it. And so we'll see what happens next week. I have a feeling that All Ego is going to win. And then I think you're going to get the breakup of the tag champs somehow. So I think you're going to get Frazier and Axiom with a little bit of miscommunicado, and bang. You're just going to, unfortunately, start getting the split of the tag champs, and it's going to have to happen, but I don't think it may not have to happen right now. I mean, I'm not a fan of them as champs, so I'm not going to be mad if somebody dethrones them, but it's kind of predictable. That's the only kind of thing I'll say. And then we get one more vignette of Chase U's rise and their whole stay in NXT and their entire story. And like I said, it's a John freaking Hughes movie come to life. It's 16 Candles. It's Ferris Mother Lovin' Bueller. You know, it's The Breakfast Club, Home Alone, Uncle Buck, all of them. It's that energy. It's that 80s magic, baby. And man, as Booker T would say, oh yeah, man. It's that. And it's like, how can you dislike this? You get Ridge Holland. It's a David Goliath story. Ridge Holland's a beast. He's a destroyer. And you get Andre Chase, who looks like me, with wrestling shoes and a Chase U sweater. But what's really cool is you get the whole crowd and black and red. And Booker T has one of the lines of the freaking night. And you get him saying they should be dressed. It's a funeral. I'm glad they wore black. Just great attention to detail book. That's why you're so good, my friend. So good on the commentating mic. Really, really dig it. Good stuff. And you get Trick Willie coming out. And Trick Willie comes out in some kind of NASCAR getup, but it looks like Harlem Heat motif because it's got flames all over it. So, he was doing some sucking up to Booker T or whatever. But yeah, so we get the match. And you got to remember, these guys, Ridge, Andre, they've had an ambulance match, which was really good. This, I would say, wasn't as good, but the emotional grip behind it, the emotional linchpin and hook made this superb. And every near fall, you could feel the exhale from the crowd. And me at home going, is it? Is it time? Is it over? Is it going? No, man, it's going. It's going. It lives. Well, finally, Andre goes for a crossbody off the top rope. Ridge catches him in his best John Cena impression, rolls through, up, down, bang, into some, even flow DDT style finisher. 1, 2, 3. That's it. The movie ends. No dance number, no amazing montage, just silence and somber. But what a wrestling story. Really well done. So Thea, Riley, and everyone else involved with Chase U have to disband, and you'll see where they go. And it'll be interesting to see where they repackage Andre Chase from here. It'll be really, really cool to see what they do. What can they do? Can he be a heel? I mean, he was a heel when Chase U started, so I think that we could go back to those roots, but we're going to have to get rid of the whole Chase U gimmick, period. And, I just thought it was a good wrestling show from top to bottom. I'm going to argue it was even better than the ECW tribute show. Yes, there was nostalgia, and yes, there was everyone's favorite, including mine, Bully Ray, but this one had the heart, man. This one got me right there. And before we go, I forgot all about Fatal Influence, Toxic Attraction 2.0, so to speak. Love me some Fallon. Love me some JC Jane. And I thought it was really cool. I dug it. I think, Fallon's got a lot of potential. I like how she's saying, everyone's got to step up to do what they got to do just to lose to her. Great stuff. You also got Julia. They did an on-screen interview with Julia through a vignette with translation. Gotta tell you, Julia is one of the most magnetic personalities I've seen in women's wrestling. I mean, she is just a beauty to look at, but also I love her whole story of, a beautiful madness. It's just, oh man, just cool stuff. And she's really tough. You could see her as a force. I do think she needs to be the one to dethrone Roxanne. Roxanne has had that belt for a long, long while now, but not too long, Donnie. So just sit down, take your seat. But I just say, if somebody is going to dethrone Roxanne, it should be Julia. Don't see why not. But those are my thoughts, my reservations, and everything in between. Really hope you enjoyed this NXT Nightcap. I loved it. The show was great. It was on point. Ever since it's come to the CW, it's been supersized. It's just deliver, and couldn't be happier. A lot of meat on those bones. And, we're eating good. So that's all from me. This is Joey Business. I'm not signing off. I'm just leaving you folks. Bye-bye.